Hello, Exeter, and today in the spotlight we have James Murray.
Car, so I turned up, and then after that I bent over.
James, thank you for stopping by today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, health officer of Exeter. I'm kind of curious what led you not only here, but also to being the health officer of this town.
Well, I do have a background in public health. I enlisted in the Army in December 2015 as a preventive medicine specialist. It's basically public health on an Army scale. So I dealt with protecting soldiers from non-combat injuries, specifically like disease spread, insects, arboviral diseases, anything that can take soldiers out of the battle that's not combat related. So when you really boil that down, that's all public health stuff, making sure they're eating safe food, drinking safe water, keeping themselves healthy. When I got back to New Hampshire, I saw that the town of Exeter was hiring a health officer, and when I looked at the job description, a lot of it was food inspections, public health, safety, so I thought it lined up pretty well. I applied, and here I am.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Now, I'm kind of curious about preventive disease inside the Army. So you got to at least have a story about.
Sure. So, the MOS itself starts back with World War II to prevent the spread of malaria. Mm-hmm. So when you look at any war in the past, you have a considerable number of soldiers taken out of combat by diseases and non-battle injuries. You look at Napoleon's army that faced cold weather injury up to the Soviets invading Afghanistan, seeing nearly 66% of their combat soldiers taken out of the battle between hepatitis A, malaria, non-battle injuries. So,
crazy.
Right. The military today wants to prevent that, and so it's not a well-known MOS. It's not the combat medics, it's not infantry, not artillery, but it's something that we need as in the military and the fighting force to keep us safe as well. So, everything from just telling soldiers how to brush their teeth right to, change your socks, that kind of thing.
How many times a week would you have to give that one? Change your socks.
You'd be amazed. And the medics do it way more, but
medics do it way more.
Oh yeah, half the prescriptions, if someone goes to sick call, it's, are you drinking enough water and when's the last time you changed your socks? That is
the two most asked questions.
That has got to be the two most asked. Yes, before they even give you ibuprofen. When's the last time you changed your socks?
Oh man, that's too funny. So you get out of the Army. So you enlisted in 2015,
right?
And you got out of the Army when?
Well, I'm still in. I'm in the reserves. So
okay.
I went away for 6 months for training, and then it's just like the National Guard, where it's 1 week in a month, 2 weeks every summer. Except reserves is federal, whereas National Guard is state.
All right.
So I'm still in. I'm in until December 29th this year, actually.
Nice.
Then I move into the inactive reserve, and then I'm out completely.
Nice. So, what drew you to New Hampshire primarily?
I was born and raised in Pembroke, New Hampshire. I lived there my entire life. I went to school at Keene State College. I never really wanted to leave. It's
Nice.
A beautiful state. I love it here. Exeter's a beautiful town. Absolutely gorgeous here.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't see living anywhere else.
Nice. So, speaking of the last year or two, you also have worked through a pandemic.
Yes.
So that's definitely
that's been definitely a game changer. When I took the job, a lot of it was about doing the health inspections for the restaurants. Exeter is a self-inspecting town, and there's not too many of those in New Hampshire. So that is where your town performs its own health inspections of its restaurants. A lot of towns are inspected by the state, but Exeter is unique. All the cities inspect themselves. We have a lot of food establishments. We have over 100 in town. So it's better for the town that you have someone on staff that inspects those rather than relying on the state to come out and do inspections when or if they can. So at first it was mostly health inspections, doing that kind of thing, and I love doing the health inspections. It's, it's fun. I like building those relationships with the local business owners. But as the pandemic came through, that's also public health. It's not something any of us were ready for, any of us were prepared for. We're all trying to deal with the best we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Exeter is doing fairly well at this point.
That's good.
We've done the people of Exeter have done an outstanding job in doing what it takes to keep themselves and their families safe, and I think we're seeing the benefits of that as opposed to other places that didn't handle it so well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Were you shipped overseas at any point when you were? No. So during, I think it was 2018, my unit was put in RFX status, Ready Force X. We were gearing up for Korea. Things were heating up with North Korea, and we were basically told, you guys are front of the line, so we're going to start stocking up the number of soldiers in South Korea in case anything happens. Politically, that ended up working out. We didn't have to go anywhere. There was a drawdown of troops, so we weren't sent anywhere then. This past December, I was told I was going to go to Afghanistan next month, actually, and the way things have happened in Afghanistan, that mission was also canceled. So I've gone 6 years in the military. I've been told I was going to deploy for 3 of those 6 years, and just, I guess, politics, something. All of those deployments have been canceled, essentially. So. All right.
Yeah.
And so, have you always been here in New Hampshire, in this area?
Yeah. Well, I've been in Pembroke, New Hampshire. It's close to Concord.
But in your time, also at Reserve.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so even then, close to home.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about the reserves is that you go to training and everything, but then you're on Fort Couch for a little while. You go home, you hang out, and they send you to a drill hall once a month, and you get your annual training and stuff. But
Yeah.
It's great. You get to work as a civilian as well, and still keep up with military training, and it's all the benefits of the military without having to leave home necessarily.
Yeah. Is this something that a lot of our troops have had to go through, just showing up at the base wherever they're posted in the U.S. and?
So I guess when you look at active duty lives on post, or that is their full-time job. For reserves in the National Guard, you're at home, you drill once a month, and as duty calls, you get deployed. You go here and there. I think the past 5 or so years, maybe 6, they started implementing this Ready Force status for reserves. That's been really tricky. It puts a lot of, I don't want to say stress, but it's a designator for deployment, and when
So there's a little pressure.
it is a little pressure. When you don't get deployed, it's tough to plan around, I guess, but yeah.
Right on. All right.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, all right. So that definitely is unique, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Army's provided me with a lot of opportunities and a lot of training and learning, and I've been very, very fortunate to have that. It kind of got me into this field, which prior to the military, I was not in the public health field at all. I mean, it's been a huge growing experience. I've learned a lot from it. I'm definitely glad that I, was able to experience that, and I'm really glad that it led me here.
Yeah. And overall, do you find this community to be helpful towards your job, what you do every day?
Absolutely. The business owners in this town, for the restaurants, they are, very, very responsible for their own businesses, for their neighbors, their communities. They really take care of their employees. From what I see, they take care of their customers, And when you have someone that cares that much about their business, they run things right. They do it safely, they do it well, they don't cut corners. The businesses in this town are awesome at that. Mm-hmm. I have no problems with any of the businesses in town as far as their health and safety inspections. I've been able to build great relationships with a lot of them. It's a great community, and I think, great businesses in the community as well reflect that.
All right. Well, James, thank you again for stopping by.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And you heard it, Exeter. If you are interested in being in the spotlight or you feel like recommending someone, you can feel free to contact us at extvg@exeternh.gov.